You lie awake in bed, thoughts of the future swirling around you. Will I keep this job? Will I have enough money to care for my family? Will I achieve the goals I've set? Worrying about things that haven't even happened yet can drain your energy and leave you feeling stuck. Have you ever experienced this? Let me take you to a small street corner where a bright red fast food truck stands out among the towering buildings. Inside, my brother busily prepares orders, flipping burgers and serving customers. But his journey here wasn't smooth. He used to work in an office, overwhelmed by the relentless pressures of modern life, deadlines, constant emails, and the fear of failure. He dreamed of being his boss, running a business he loved. Yet, achieving that dream came with countless failures, sleepless nights, and moments of self-doubt. You see, life often throws obstacles in our path, challenges that seem impossible to overcome. But my brother discovered a way to face them with strength and clarity by embracing the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. And today, I want to share those same life-changing principles with you. In today's video, we'll explore how the wisdom of Stoic philosophy can help you overcome the same struggles. You'll learn practical steps to face fear, handle setbacks, and build a life rooted in clarity and purpose. Have you faced similar challenges? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences may inspire someone else. Let's dive into the principles that can transform uncertainty into strength. Stay with us. You won't want to miss this. 1. Embrace the present moment. The present moment is all we ever truly have. The past cannot be changed, no matter how much we replay it in our minds, and the future is filled with uncertainty, no matter how meticulously we try to plan for it. The Stoics understood this deeply and taught that true peace and fulfillment come from living fully in the now. By focusing on the present, we free ourselves from the regrets that weigh us down and the anxieties that keep us paralyzed. When my brother decided to leave his stable office job to pursue his passion for running a food truck, it wasn't a decision made lightly. He had spent years in a secure role, following a predictable routine, but he also knew deep down that it wasn't the life he wanted to live. He didn't wait for the perfect moment or ideal conditions to act. Instead, he embraced the present and took a leap of faith, committing to building the life he truly desired. That decision was far from easy. Doubts crept in, as they often do. What if I fail? What if this isn't the right choice? But instead of letting those fears control him, he chose to focus on what he could do in the moment. He didn't dwell on the years spent in an unfulfilling job or worry endlessly about the challenges that lay ahead. Instead, he channeled his energy into taking action, one small step at a time. The Stoics teach us that by focusing on the present, we reclaim our power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means recognizing that our thoughts about the past or future have no hold on us, unless we allow them to. The present is where the action happens. It's where we make choices that align with our values, no matter how uncertain the path may seem. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future. It means refusing to let the fear of it dominate you. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, ask yourself, what can I do today that moves me closer to the life I want? Take one step. Even a small action brings clarity and momentum. Mindfulness is a key part of this practice. When we center ourselves in the now, we quiet the noise of regret and worry. You can do this by focusing on your breath, observing the world around you, or simply being aware of your current emotions without judgment. This allows you to approach decisions and challenges with calm and presence, rather than fear and hesitation. The Stoics also remind us to accept the imperfection of the present moment. There will never be a perfect time to start, no flawless conditions waiting for you to act. What matters is the beginning, no matter how messy or uncertain it feels. As Epictetus said, don't hope that events will turn out the way you want, but welcome events in whichever way they happen. My brother's decision taught me that the present isn't just a place of action, it's a place of growth. By choosing to act in the now, despite the risks, he found clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. So take the Stoic lesson to heart. Life happens here and now. Don't let the past trap you or the future paralyze you. Begin today. The present is a gift waiting for you to unwrap it, and it's the only time you have to create the life you've been dreaming of. 2. Overcoming fear and shame. Fear and shame are two of the most paralyzing emotions we experience. They creep into our minds, planting doubts and holding us back from taking action. Fear whispers, "What if you fail? What if this doesn't work out?" Shame adds, "What will people think? What if they laugh at you or judge you?" Together, they create a powerful force that keeps us stuck. But Stoicism offers a way out. It teaches us that fear and shame aren't rooted in reality. They stem from how we interpret our circumstances. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Fear isn't about the actual danger of failure. It's about the story we tell ourselves about what failure means. Shame isn't about what others truly think. It's about the weight we give to their opinions. When we recognize that these emotions come from within, we regain the ability to control them. Take my brother, for example. The night before he quit his stable office job, he was overwhelmed by fear and doubt. Am I making a mistake? What if I end up worse off? What will people think of me? These questions kept him awake, filling his mind with worst-case scenarios. But as the sun began to rise, he had a moment of clarity. Standing by the window, he reminded himself that his fear was natural. It was the price of stepping into the unknown. He realized that the shame he felt wasn't his own. It was the imagined judgment of others. At that moment, he decided to act. He chose to believe in himself, to leap over the fear. And that decision marked the beginning of his journey toward a life he truly wanted. So how can you overcome fear and shame in your own life? The Stoics provide several lessons to guide us. First, confront your fear head-on. Don't avoid it. Analyze it. Write down what you're afraid of and ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? When you face your fears directly, you'll often find they're not as overwhelming as they seem. Fear thrives in the unknown, and by breaking it down into specifics, you take away its power. Second, shift how you think about shame. Instead of worrying about what others might think, ask yourself, what matters more, my opinion of myself or theirs? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our integrity, and our effort, not the opinions of others. Remember, those opinions are fleeting, but your character is lasting. Finally, act despite the fear. Courage isn't about never feeling afraid, it's about moving forward even when fear is present. Epictetus reminds us to focus on what's within our control, our choices, our mindset, and our responses. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over fear and shame. The truth is that fear and shame are opportunities in disguise. They push us to grow, to face challenges, and to prove to ourselves that we're capable of more than we imagine. When you act despite fear, you build confidence. When you reframe shame, you reclaim your self-worth. The Stoics teach us that life's greatest rewards lie on the other side of discomfort. Fear and shame may feel like barriers, but they're also invitations to step into your potential. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them guide you toward a life of strength and purpose. 3. Anticipating obstacles. Life is unpredictable, often throwing us into situations we didn't foresee. Challenges arise unexpectedly, leaving us feeling overwhelmed or unprepared. But the Stoics taught a profound approach to deal with this uncertainty. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This practice isn't about being pessimistic or expecting the worst. It's about preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for life's inevitable challenges. When we anticipate obstacles, we reduce their impact and sharpen our ability to respond wisely when they occur. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus emphasize the importance of preparation as a tool for resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Consider frequently the possibility of trouble in life, loss, injury, injustice, ingratitude, and malice. By thinking of these in advance, you'll strengthen your ability to deal with them calmly when they occur." Anticipating obstacles doesn't make life easier, but it gives you the clarity and composure to face difficulties with confidence rather than fear. Before starting his food truck business, my brother embodied this principle without realizing it. He spent weeks researching and analyzing the market, but he didn't stop at best-case scenarios. He deliberately thought about what could go wrong: slow sales, high expenses, competition, or even bad weather. For each potential issue, he outlined steps he could take to mitigate the impact. This preparation paid off. When rainy days kept customers away or initial sales fell below expectations, he wasn't caught off guard. Instead, he implemented the solutions he had already planned. He adjusted his menu to appeal to his audience, used social media to attract new customers, and created discounts to keep regulars coming back. His preparation allowed him to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to adapt and improve. So, how can you use Stoic wisdom to anticipate and manage obstacles in your own life? Start by practicing premeditatio malorum. When setting a goal or pursuing a new venture, take a moment to ask yourself, what could go wrong? Be honest and thorough. Write down the potential challenges, no matter how small or unlikely they seem. Think about how each obstacle might affect you and brainstorm practical solutions. This exercise transforms vague fears into manageable problems and gives you a sense of control over your path. But it doesn't stop there. Preparation must also include flexibility. The Stoics understood that no amount of planning can account for every variable. Unexpected events are part of life's nature. That's why cultivating adaptability is key. When plans don't go as expected, you must be willing to pivot. Instead of clinging to what should have been, focus on what can still be done. Another critical component is seeking wisdom from others. Learn from those who have faced similar challenges. Their experiences, both successes and failures, can offer valuable insights and shortcuts to solutions you may not have considered. Finally, remember the Stoic mindset of acceptance. Preparation doesn't guarantee smooth sailing, but it ensures you approach challenges with calm determination. The more you anticipate obstacles, the less intimidating they seem when they arise. Rather than fearing the unknown, you'll embrace life's uncertainties with resilience and grace. The lesson is simple, yet profound. Expect challenges, prepare for them, and adapt when they come. By doing so, you'll find that no obstacle is insurmountable, and every setback becomes an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. 4. Transforming offense into growth. Criticism and offense can feel like daggers. They sting, linger, and make us question our choices. But Stoicism teaches us that the sting doesn't come from the words themselves, it comes from our reaction to them. Epictetus reminded us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The true challenge lies in reframing those moments, turning hurtful words into fuel for growth. In the early days of running his food truck, my brother faced harsh comments from people he once knew. Some acquaintances, seeing his empty cart, mocked him openly. "Why did you leave your office job to suffer like this?" At first, those words hit him hard. He couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. Had he made a mistake? But instead of letting their remarks define him, he chose a different response. He saw the criticism not as an attack, but as a challenge. It was an opportunity to prove to himself, not them, that his decision was right. He poured his energy into improving his recipes, learning everything he could about marketing and creating a brand that stood out. Over time, customers began to show up. The same people who had once mocked him eventually grew quiet, replaced by others who admired his perseverance. This approach is powerful. Criticism, whether it comes from strangers or people close to you, will always exist. You can't control what they say, but you can control how much power you give to their words. The Stoics believed that external opinions only hold meaning if you allow them to. When you focus on your purpose, criticism becomes noise, a temporary distraction, not a roadblock. If you've ever faced criticism that made you doubt yourself, here's what you can do. First, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is there any truth in this? Not all criticism is harmful. Sometimes it reveals areas where you can improve. Take what's useful and discard the rest. Next, focus on your actions. Your response matters more than their words. Channel the energy from the offense into something productive. Just as my brother improved his food and marketing, find ways to grow and strengthen your work. Finally, remember your purpose. When you stay true to your values, outside opinions lose their weight. Your path is yours to walk, not theirs to judge. Criticism isn't the end of your journey. It's a chance to refine it. Embrace it, reframe it, and let it push you to become even better. What others mean to hurt you can become the very thing that helps you rise. 5. The power of morning reflection. The way we start our morning shapes the rest of our day. It's easy to get caught in the rush, checking emails, hurrying through breakfast, or mentally battling the chaos ahead. But Stoic philosophy reminds us to pause, reflect, and set intentions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, wrote every morning in his meditations, grounding himself before facing the challenges of the day. This act of reflection isn't just about preparation, it's about creating clarity and focus, so life doesn't overwhelm us. After leaving his office job, my brother found himself embracing mornings in a way he never could before. Gone were the hurried breakfasts and the constant sense of being behind. Instead, he began dedicating a few minutes every morning to quiet contemplation. Sitting by his window with a cup of coffee, he would reflect on the day ahead. What mattered most? What could he control? Through this practice, he found his thoughts settling. His priorities became clearer, and he felt a sense of calm he hadn't experienced in years. By the time he opened his food truck, he was ready, not just physically but mentally, to tackle whatever came his way. That simple morning ritual became the foundation of his resilience. This is the power of morning reflection. It isn't about adding complexity to your life. It's about simplifying your mind. In a world filled with distractions, these moments of clarity act as an anchor. If your mornings feel rushed or chaotic, consider carving out just 5 minutes for yourself. Sit in silence, journal your thoughts, or focus on your breath. Ask yourself 3 key questions. What do I want to achieve today? What challenges might I face? How will I respond to them? These questions bring purpose to your actions, ensuring your energy is spent on what truly matters. Another useful practice is gratitude. Before the day's demands take over, take a moment to acknowledge the things you're thankful for. Your health, your loved ones, or even the opportunities ahead. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, preparing you to face challenges with strength and optimism. Stoicism isn't just about reacting well to life's difficulties. It's about setting yourself up to handle them with grace. A morning of reflection creates a foundation for this. It allows you to align your actions with your values, grounding you in what matters most. Each morning is a new beginning. Use it wisely. Slow down, reflect, and face the day ahead with clarity and calm. It's a small act with immense power. 6. Cultivate gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude has a unique power. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. In Stoic philosophy, it's seen as a core practice for finding inner peace. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to appreciate the small blessings of life, no matter how challenging the day had been. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties, but it gives us the strength to face them by grounding us in what truly matters. After a long, exhausting day, my brother sat alone in his small food truck. The streetlights flickered softly outside, casting a glow on the quiet street. He looked out, his heart heavy with emotions, but filled with a deep sense of appreciation. He felt grateful for the opportunity to follow his dream. He thought about the friends who had stood by him, offering words of encouragement when times were tough. He even felt thankful for the challenges, the long hours, the moments of doubt, because they had taught him resilience and humility. But what moved him the most was watching his customers enjoy the dishes he'd prepared with his own hands. Those simple moments of connection reminded him why he started this journey in the first place. Gratitude gave him strength. It wasn't just an emotion, it was his foundation. I could see it in him, and I felt happy knowing he had found peace in his chosen path. This is the beauty of gratitude. It transforms hardships into lessons, small joys into profound moments, and uncertainty into hope. No matter how difficult your journey is, practicing gratitude allows you to see the good amidst the chaos. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to pause. Reflect on 3 things you're grateful for: your family, your health, or even the opportunity to try again tomorrow. Gratitude doesn't need to be grand. It can be as simple as appreciating the smile of a loved one, the warmth of the sun, or the lessons hidden in a difficult day. Stoicism reminds us that contentment doesn't come from having more. It comes from valuing what we already have. Gratitude anchors us in the present, helping us focus on the blessings within our reach. When life feels heavy, let gratitude lighten the load. It's a quiet but powerful force, reminding you of your inner strength and the beauty of the path you're walking. In every struggle, there's something to appreciate. Find it, hold on to it, and let it guide you forward. 7. Practice self-discipline and control. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of living a purposeful life. It's what allows us to move forward, even when the path is difficult. Without discipline, we're slaves to our impulses, reacting to life circumstances instead of shaping them. Stoicism emphasizes this virtue as one of the keys to inner peace and resilience. To the Stoics, self-control wasn't just about restraining desires, it was about aligning every action with reason and virtue. My brother's journey with his food truck was a daily exercise in discipline. Every morning, he had to wake up before dawn to prepare fresh ingredients, plan his menu, and organize his schedule. The work wasn't glamorous, and there were days when exhaustion tempted him to cut corners. But he knew that the quality of his food and the trust of his customers depended on his commitment to doing things right. Discipline wasn't something he showed only on the good days. It became his foundation on the hard ones. For many of us, discipline feels like a heavy burden, especially when life is overwhelming. But the truth is, it's a source of freedom. When we lack discipline, we become trapped by distractions, procrastination, and fleeting emotions. We let frustration or boredom dictate our actions, leaving us stuck and unfulfilled. Self-discipline, however, frees us from this chaos. It gives us the power to focus on what truly matters, even when our emotions try to pull us elsewhere. Developing self-discipline doesn't require massive changes overnight. It begins with small, consistent steps. For example, if you struggle with staying focused, start by identifying your most important tasks each morning. Write them down and tackle them one at a time. Avoid the temptation to multitask. It scatters your energy and reduces your effectiveness. Reflection is another critical tool for cultivating discipline. At the end of each day, take a moment to evaluate your actions. Ask yourself, did I stay aligned with my priorities? What did I do well? And where can I improve tomorrow? This habit of self-assessment helps you stay accountable to yourself, while also providing a clear sense of progress. Setting boundaries is equally important. Often, we think of discipline as purely internal, but external factors can significantly influence our ability to stay on track. Create an environment that supports your goals. Limit unnecessary distractions, reduce screen time, and establish routines that encourage focus. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. There will be days when you falter, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to get back on track and keep moving forward. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control external events, we can always control our responses. Self-discipline gives us the strength to choose our actions thoughtfully and deliberately, no matter what circumstances arise. This ability to act with intention, rather than reaction, is what sets the resilient apart. A disciplined life is not a rigid one, it's a life of clarity and freedom. By mastering self-control, you create the space to live according to your values, focus on meaningful goals, and navigate challenges with confidence. This is how you transform discipline from a daily effort into a source of strength and fulfillment. 8. Connect with nature. In the chaos of modern life, we often forget how deeply connected we are to the natural world. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, not only as a philosophical principle, but as a way to find harmony and inner peace. They saw nature as a teacher, offering lessons in resilience, simplicity, and balance. Imagine a forest after a storm. The trees bend with the wind but rarely break. The rain nourishes the soil, and the sun eventually returns to dry the leaves. Nature reminds us that no matter how fierce the storm is, it always passes, and life continues. When we connect with this natural rhythm, we find perspective. Our challenges, no matter how overwhelming, feel smaller against the vastness of the world. Stoicism teaches us that we are a part of nature, not separate from it. Marcus Aurelius reflected often on this connection, noting that we should live as a limb of a larger body. This awareness not only humbles us, but also provides clarity. Just as the seasons change, so do our lives. By accepting this, we learn to flow with life's challenges rather than resist them. Yet in today's fast-paced world, many of us spend most of our time indoors, disconnected from the earth. This disconnection adds to our stress, leaving us feeling ungrounded and detached. The solution isn't complicated. It's about making time to reconnect with nature, even in small ways. Start by stepping outside. Walk in a park, sit by a river, or simply stand in your backyard and feel the sun on your skin. Take a moment to observe. Listen to the rustling leaves, the chirping birds, or the distant hum of life around you. Let these sounds ground you in the present moment. When you're overwhelmed, remember the power of nature to restore balance. A walk in the woods can quiet a racing mind, and the sight of a sunset can remind you that life's most beautiful moments are often simple and free. Use these moments to reflect on your place in the world. What seems so urgent today may feel less pressing when viewed from nature's perspective. If you're in the middle of a tough situation, ask yourself, what would nature do? Would the river stop flowing because of a rock in its path? Would a tree refuse to grow because of a harsh winter? Nature shows us how to adapt, endure, and keep moving forward. Reconnecting with nature isn't just a break from stress. It's a reminder of who we are and what truly matters. As the Stoics taught, living in harmony with nature brings simplicity and clarity. When you embrace this connection, you'll find that the answers you're searching for often come in the stillness of the natural world. As we bring this journey to a close, remember this: the wisdom of Stoicism isn't just a philosophy to admire, it's a way of life to practice. Each of the principles we've discussed today, from embracing the present moment to connecting with nature, holds the power to transform how you face life's challenges. Life is unpredictable. It will test you with setbacks, distractions, and moments of doubt. But these Stoic habits equip you with the tools to respond, not react. They help you find clarity in the chaos, strength in adversity, and peace amidst uncertainty. Take these lessons and make them your own. Reflect on them each day. Start small: a quiet morning reflection, a moment of gratitude, or a mindful walk outdoors. Let these practices guide you toward a life of intention and resilience. Progress won't happen overnight, but with consistency, you'll notice how much calmer and more grounded you feel. Above all, stay true to your values. Pursue the life you've always wanted, not the one others expect of you. Courage, discipline, and gratitude will carry you through any storm. Let this be the beginning of your path to a stronger, more meaningful life. These Stoic teachings are timeless because they speak to what it means to be human, to grow, adapt, and thrive. Your journey doesn't have to be solitary. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Let us know how you plan to practice these Stoic habits in your own life. Together, we can build a community that grows stronger, one day at a time. Thank you for watching, and remember, the power to change your life lies within you. Start today.